Brooklyn Independent Television.
Something is wrong with my tooth.
What is it?
I think it's hurting a little. I used to go to ballet class, but now I don't.
Show us again.
Show the twirl? Do you want to do a twirl?
Whoa.
I just think this can be shorter.
Here, let's just
work.
Here, let me make the cuts, and so we can do.
I don't think she needs to say my mom put me into therapy. She can
No,
just
but
say
that's
I
good.
was in
She's
therapy.
no. It was good because because Deirdre's been gone for a while, and it brings her back, and it's something that Deirdre. I would like that. I think that should be in there. But I had come across this idea for a romantic comedy, and I told Bryan about it, and he thought it was a good idea, and we both wanted to try and write something that would make money.
But it's the first time I wrote something for the market. It's the first time I wrote something genre, really, and didn't think I ever would, and was kind of did it for that experience. And it's.
You've written plenty of stuff for depressing, obscure indie genre.
Yeah, I've done if that's a genre. I work here full time. I'm their web director. I'm responsible for their website. We just re-engineered and redesigned Pratt.edu, their whole web presence, which is how I pay the bills. I've never made any money from any of the films I've ever done. It's not the kind of films that are going to lead to sort of great fame or fortune, at least. They tend to be dark, challenging films.
Hey, Marty.
Hey, honey. Anything playing?
I'm just on a bonus right now. I need to build up some credits. I'm gonna hit 4 aces tonight with a kicker.
Oh, yeah? Just remember me when you hit it.
I wrote a play based on gambling addiction, a video poker addiction that my mother went through over the last 4 years or so. Got well reviewed, and we ended up making a film out of it, just a very strict adaptation on credit cards. It's a real-time, feature-length film that's set in one of these small video poker bars in Vegas. You belly up to a bar that sort of invites you to piss away money, and it creates these really dark, kind of desperate situations. That was back in 2005. And after that film, I've pretty much had no more credit cards to play with and no more kind of disposable income to play with.
What'd you get? I just hit 4 fives. Double? Double bonus. Karen, I just got 4 fives.
I've never won a grant in my life. I've never gotten any, kind of sustainable. And film is an expensive medium. That's the tough part about it.
It will never happen.
What makes you think that?
Because it's not structured like that.
It happens.
It happens. It's like a fucking gambling. Some people get a lottery, and live with all the chunk of money they get from the lottery. A lot of people play lottery and they don't get it.
My wife kind of, she was sort of fed up in the sense that she thought film was just this closed system that only sort of wealthy people can break into. And we just kept having the same fight about how much she hated film and all the money and stress and everything that was lost to it.
I'm just miserable and tired.
I am sorry that I can't give you more financial stability, but you just have to have faith that it'll work. I'm trying. Or maybe I should stop to give you a break psychologically. So my stress...
Don't you think I deserve a break?
You do?
Man, I've been with you for 12 years. I mean, come on, give me a break. I'm waiting for it.
So, as my wife and I kept having this same argument, the only way I could think to stop having it is to put it on film. And it was always going to be up to her whether or not anybody would ever see it.
Go stand by the sink. That's where I figured you'd stand. Come on.
Okay, I'll see you later.
Sabina.
It took me 3 months to convince her to let us do it at all. And she finally said yes. So Mark and I rolled in one day, unannounced, and it was very easy to start this same fight that we were having. And for about 4 hours, we just had it out about, you know, the fact that we have a child now, that we're kind of, you know, struggling paycheck to paycheck.
I wanted to make, you know, your dreams come true, but man, I can't take it anymore.
So, when should I give it up?
How about today?
We both aren't sort of excited about how we come off in the film, but eventually we came to terms with the fact that maybe the film itself is more important than how we feel about it, which is why it's now out in the world for free. I ran into a programmer at Sundance, and one of their biggest questions was like, is this real? This can't be real. And I've had friends who are actors who've watched it for like acting chops, even though she's not acting. After making Losing Ground, I wrote a script called An Entire Body. It's about a single mother in Las Vegas who sells her 8-year-old daughter, essentially. When I was done with it, it turned out to be a story of my adolescence, growing up with a single parent, always broke in Vegas. It took third place in the Slam Dance Screenplay competition, which was a few years ago now. I have to say that award was one of the things that led to getting a manager, to getting a lot of agent interest, producer interest. So now I'm working with the producer Mike Ryan, who's most known for Junebug, and he has a real capacity for getting tougher films financed. We just cast Lauren Ambrose in the lead, Dennis O'Hare, Tony Award-winning actors attached. So we have the package, we're in very good shape. And I'd be very lucky if it all works out in this climate, because to get any film funded, let alone a sort of dark domestic drama like this, is like moving mountains. It's really difficult. As money for independent film has kept evaporating, independent filmmakers have found different ways to keep making work. Kickstarter is one. I know somebody who raised 20 grand for a film called 4. And then there's this sort of patronage model like the Red Bucket films. Or there's the model of just that your uncle has a lot of money and he's willing to throw $250,000 toward an indie feature. Swingers, the film Swingers, was funded by a group of dentists. I just recently sort of reached out with our promotional materials to fellow filmmakers and artists and you know, attorneys, people I know, saying, hey, there's this film, is there private equity available?
What are you doing? Did Sawyer go to sleep?
The minute you try to please everybody, you're going to please no one. And the minute you stop making it personal to yourself, it's not going to be personal to anyone else.
Say octopus. Say octopus.
Brooklyn Independent Television on the BCAT TV network.